previously.
Ebuka came to see her. He had been preparing for weeks, buying gifts and hunting special game. He was excited. 7 years he had waited. Chinaza! He rushed toward her with open arms. She was looking at her phone. When she saw him coming, her face changed. Don't you dare. She pushed him away hard. Don't come near me, you bush boy. Ebuka stood there shocked. Chinaza. N? You can't even say my name properly now? She sniffed her blouse like she was checking if he had contaminated it. What's wrong? He asked. You are what's wrong. You're the problem in my life. Chief Madhu and Lady Lolo rushed out. What's happening? Chief Madhu asked. Father, I don't know what's wrong with Chinaza. You're what's wrong. Chinaza cut in. Dad, I just didn't let him hug me. He smells like animals and tea. And this is a new top.
Defiance
Chinaza!
But
Chief Madhu
is where it
shouted.
stops.
Are you mad?
You will respect
Dad,
the
I did
customs
nothing
of our
wrong.
people.
I just didn't want him near me. Future husband. If he can't even hug you, what should he do? Chinaza laughed. When did I make him my husband? We were playing when we were kids. Now we're adults. Children's games should stay in the past. Lady Lolo took Chinaza's hand, and they headed to the house. Chinaza. The voice made them stop. It was soft but cold. It's fine if this is what you want, but you'll be surprised at what you're doing to yourself very soon. Ebuka turned and walked away. His tears had stopped. His face was calm. As he left, he said quietly, You will regret this. Chinaza heard him and laughed. Delusional beggar. Chief Madhu watched Ebuka leave and felt cold inside. He had seen that look before. Something had changed in the boy. Weeks passed. Ebuka stopped coming to Chief Madhu's house. Meanwhile, Chinaza moved to the city and secured a job within weeks. Her degree, though average, was enough. But the doors that opened quickly revealed what lay behind them. Her colleagues found her insufferable. She corrected everyone, complained constantly, treated those in lower positions like servants. At work, people avoided the break room when she was there. At church, the smiles were polite but distant. No one invited her to fellowship groups or social gatherings. She thinks she's better than everyone, they whispered. Did you hear how she spoke to the cleaner? Beautiful on the outside, ugly on the inside. The years crawled by like wounded animals. 1 year became 3. 3 became 5. 5 became 7. Then 10. 32 years old, unmarried, and increasingly desperate. The confidence had cracked, revealing panic underneath. She laughed too loud at men's jokes now, dressed younger than her age. Wore makeup a little too heavy, trying to reclaim something that time was stealing. That's when Ben appeared. He drove a flashy car, wore designer clothes, told jokes that made her laugh. He was confident, charming, everything the campus belles had told her to want. Within 6 months, she was walking down the aisle, finally getting married. The mask fell off on the honeymoon. Ben wasn't a successful businessman. He was a clerk managing a reception area, living on credit cards and borrowed time. The car was rented. The clothes were bought on installment. The confidence was desperation wearing cologne. The first time he hit her was on their 3rd day of marriage. She had suggested they save money instead of eating out. His fist answered her suggestion. The second time was 2 weeks later. She had laughed at a waiter's joke. Ben's hand across her face reminded her that she belonged to him now. The third time, she had forgotten to buy his favorite brand of beer. He used a belt. The fourth time, there was no reason at all. He'd just had a bad day at work. She learned to wear long sleeves in summer. Sunglasses indoors became her signature look. Foundation couldn't quite hide the bruises, but she layered it thick anyway. Her phone was monitored every call, every text. Her bank account was under his control. She had to ask permission to visit her parents, and the answer was usually no. The educated, sophisticated Chinaza had become a prisoner, apologizing for breathing too loudly. One afternoon, Ben called her. "Come to my office. I have an errand for you." His voice had an edge to it. "Make yourself presentable. Don't embarrass me, or you'll regret it when we get home." Chinaza applied extra makeup to hide the bruise on her cheek from 2 days ago. She dressed carefully, modest, but neat. Anything to avoid his anger. She sat in the small reception area, hands folded in her lap, eyes down, waiting. Ben paced nervously, checking his watch repeatedly, his anxiety making her more anxious. Then she heard footsteps descending the stairs. A man's voice, giving instructions about a meeting, professional and assured. A woman's laugh light, genuine, the sound of someone happy. Chinaza kept her head down as she'd learned to do. Don't draw attention. Don't make Ben angry. The footsteps stopped. Ben. That voice. That voice made her blood turn to ice in her veins. She looked up slowly, and the world stopped spinning. Ibuka. But not the Ibuka she remembered. This man wore a tailored suit that probably cost more than everything in her apartment. His shoes gleamed like mirrors. A watch that could buy 3 cars glinted on his wrist. But more than the wealth, it was the presence. The quiet, unshakable confidence of someone who had conquered mountains. Beside him stood a woman who could have graced magazine covers. Tall, elegant, educated grace radiating from every gesture. Her arm was linked through Ibuka's with comfortable intimacy. She wore success like a second skin. Their eyes met, and Chinaza watched Ibuka freeze mid-step. For 3 heartbeats, no one moved. "Oga!" Ben jumped forward eagerly, desperate to please. "Sir, I told you I recently got married. This is my wife, Chi." Chinaza. Ibuka's voice was hollow, stunned. The woman beside him, Ada, turned sharply. Her eyes widened, then narrowed as recognition dawned. "That Chinaza? The village girl?" "My love," Ibuka started, but Ada cut him off. She stepped forward, her heels clicking against the floor like a judge's gavel. When she spoke, her voice carried across the reception area. "Are you a fool, or are you just unbelievably generous?" Chinaza couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. "You kicked away a loving, honest, hard-working man like my husband." Ada's voice cracked with disbelief. "A man who would have given you the world, who waited for you, who loved you with everything he had, and you threw him away like garbage?" "Ada, please," Ibuka said quietly. "No," Ada's eyes blazed. "She needs to hear this. Do you know what this man did after you destroyed him?" She turned back to Chinaza. "He locked himself in a single room for 6 months. 6 months. He taught himself coding from YouTube videos on a borrowed phone with internet he could barely afford. He built an agricultural app from scratch, connecting farmers directly to buyers. No middlemen, pure innovation." Her voice softened slightly, filled with pride. "Investors found him. They hunted him down. 3 different companies competed for him. He chose the one that aligned with his values, not the one that paid the most." She paused. "And through it all, you know what he never did? He never badmouthed you, never cursed you. He just said, 'She made her choice, and I made mine.' That's the kind of man you threw away." Ada turned back to her husband, her expression softening as she looked at him. Then she glanced back at Chinaza, and something like pity crossed her face. "Actually, I should say thank you." Ada's voice dropped, became almost kind. "One, thank you for being so blind and foolish. Because if you hadn't rejected him, I wouldn't have the most amazing husband in the world. So really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, benefactor." Ibuka's jaw tightened. He looked at Chinaza one last time, and in his eyes, she saw nothing. No anger, no pain, nothing. She had become a stranger to him. He turned to Ben, his voice professional ice. Ben, I've told you repeatedly, non-workers are not allowed in the office premises during business hours. Is this the first warning or the second? Second, sir, Ben stammered, his face pale. Then this is your final warning. It's in your contract. Don't let it happen again. Ibuka took his wife's hand gently. Let's go, my love. We have that dinner reservation at 8. As they moved toward the exit, Ada leaned into her husband, whispering something that made him smile, a real smile, full of warmth and love. The moment they were out of sight, Ben grabbed Chinaza's arm with brutal force. You stupid, useless woman! He dragged her toward the door, his grip leaving marks. You know him? You know him and you never told me? That's my boss. Do you know what you've cost me? What? Ben, please, you're hurting me. Shut up! He flung her toward the exit like discarded trash. Get out before I lose my job because of you. And when I get home tonight, he left the threat hanging. Chinaza stumbled outside, her arm throbbing. Through blurred vision, she saw Ibuka's Mercedes pull out of the parking lot. Through the tinted window, she could see them, Ibuka, laughing at something Ada said. Ada's hand resting on his knee, two people who had found their place in the world. Together, without her. Her knees buckled. The words came out broken, a prayer too late for any god to hear. I had gold in my hands, pure gold, and I called it worthless stone. Her voice cracked. I rejected a diamond while chasing glass. I traded a palace for a prison. Tears streamed down her face, mixing with the makeup, revealing the bruise underneath. Ibuka, if you can hear me somehow, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was blind. I was foolish. I was everything you deserved better than. She gasped for air. You told me I would regret this, and God, you were right. I regret it every single day, every single breath. I look at my life, this broken, beaten, hollow life, and I know. Her voice dropped to a whisper. The stone I rejected, it was never a stone at all. It was gold, polished gold. And I threw it away for painted brass that's already peeling to show the rust underneath. The Mercedes turned the corner and disappeared. She looked down at her shaking hands. Her vision blurred further. The world tilted. The last thing Chinaza saw before darkness claimed her was the empty road where Ibuka's car had been. When she woke in the hospital 3 hours later, Ben was gone. He had cleaned out her jewelry box, emptied her secret savings from under the mattress, even taken her phone. He left only a note, scrawled on the back of a receipt. You're not worth losing my job over. Don't come back to the house. Your things will be outside. In that sterile white room, surrounded by nothing and no one, Chinaza finally understood what the village elders meant when they said, the eyes that reject gold in favor of glitter will spend a lifetime in darkness, searching for the light they threw away. Ibuka never looked back. He had learned that true strength wasn't in holding on to someone who despised you. It was in valuing yourself enough to walk away and build something beautiful with someone who saw your worth from the beginning. And Chinaza spent the rest of her life looking at the empty space where he used to be, knowing that the stone she rejected had always been gold-polished, precious, and priceless. She just hadn't had the eyes to see it.